You're live.
All right. So this is the pre-meeting for the Rochester Preservation Board January 6, 2021 hearing. During the pre-meeting, staff and board members review cases. There's no participation by applicants or the public. Following the conclusion of the pre-meeting, a public hearing will be held at 6 p.m. Here, all cases will be heard, applicants will present, and public comments will be read into the record, and deliberations will follow. The board will take action on cases that were heard at the public hearing. There is no participation by applicants or the public. So, hi everyone. I think the first thing we're going to do is just take a listing of site visits. So I'm just going to go through each of them and let me know if anyone has not visited the site. Case 1 for 900 East Avenue. Okay. Case 2 for 860 East Main Street. Case 3 for 1133 Mount Hope Avenue. Case 4 for 470 West Main Street. And case 5 for 1000 East Avenue. Okay. So now we can go through the cases. Case 1, did anyone have any questions or concerns or points of clarification for that case?
That was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they're always so thorough.
Chris, my only question, I've asked questions similar to this in the past, is it wasn't even clear to me why it needed to come to the board. It's a historic property. It just looks like it's replacement in kind and preservation of existing features.
Yeah, so typically this is a landmark property. The George Eastman House at 900 East Avenue is a landmark property. It also is in the preservation district. Local landmarks, if you look at page, and it is included in here, page 3 of your staff report package, restoration programs and exterior repairs for landmarks do require review by the preservation board.
Okay,
So,
yeah, actually I hadn't noticed that. So that's true of a landmark, but not a normal property in a preservation district.
Correct. So that would be one of your considerations too, is in terms of the restoration program, that sort of thing, how that's going to be impacted in terms of this criteria. Okay. Case 2, 860 East Main. Any questions, comments, points of clarification? Okay. Case 3, 1133 Mount Hope Avenue. I did want to mention, and I will mention this in the hearing as well, there is a typo. So the second paragraph of the project information, I had written the purpose of the project is to add several hundred new in-ground columbarium walls. That's actually incorrect. There will be 4 columbarium walls, 3 which will be constructed in the areas of 1, 3, the site sections 1, 3, and 4, which are within the preservation district area. And it should have been written as several hundred new internment spaces. So this project's going to allow for several hundred new internment spaces, which is clarified in their application, but I just didn't want that to confuse anyone, because several hundred columbarium walls would be a lot of columbarium walls. The other point that I want to make here is that on page 2 of the project information, you'll see that there's a clarification between site sections 1, 3, and 4 and sections 2 and 5. So site sections 1, 3, and 4 are within the preservation district area of the site, while the other 2 are not. Site sections 2 and 5, which are not within the preservation district boundaries, are not in the purview of your review tonight. You're only going to be reviewing sites 1, 3, and 4 for approval. And I will make another comment on those 2 items during the public hearing as well. Were there any comments, questions, concerns for that item? Okay.
Chris, we had there was one, maybe two comments that you emailed to us, commentary from the public. Is there any reason for us to discuss that?
If you think there's any reason to now, I don't, you can discuss those during the public hearing.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. Okay, so the next one is case 4, which is 470 West Main Street.
Chris, I'm sorry, I'm going to back you up just really quickly with this one. The one that was the scattering garden MM.
Yep.
I stood there and found this location, but for the life of me, I couldn't get it to coordinate with the site plan that they were showing. I wonder if I was the only one that was confused about what I was looking at. I just try to keep getting it to match up with the proposed site plan. We've got this picture of this angel here, and I couldn't figure out where that was in relation to.
Let me get there.
Site. And if it's just me, we can forget it.
I don't recall the angel when I went to visit the site, but I do know, I am familiar with this area.
I'm just
I don't know
wondering
if I
if the
can clarify
picture's
that further.
misleading. Okay.
I mean, maybe that's something we'll need to ask the
Yeah.
applicant on the record.
I just couldn't
Good
figure out
point.
how the photo coordinated with the site plan.
I had the
Maybe
same-
it doesn't.
I had the same issue. I found it on the map. but
Okay.
I couldn't find that specific piece.
I was just confused.
Yeah, and we'll have everything in front of us when you're asking your questions, so we can actually point out those pages and you could clarify it in hearing.
Okay.
I was also wondering if there are any regulations or anything that we need to know about a scattering garden from the city's point of view, Tom?
Well, we'll leave it up to DES and that they've already, that what they're proposing is legal. And so if it turns out they're wrong, then, we'll adjust accordingly. But that our role is just to opine on the appropriateness of the changes in landscaping and structures to a preservation district property. So we'll leave it up to their code people and stuff to make sure that, and they probably have already, that they're running things consistent with the public health laws and other things in governing cemeteries and columbariums and cremains areas and all that.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so case 4, which is 470 West Main Street for signage. So the applicant's also looking to have the review in addition to the signage, the review of the
Awnings.
yes, awnings. I'm
Yeah.
looking right at the word, I couldn't say it. The awnings, yeah.
And are they planning to change out the awnings then, Chris? There are fabric swatches here from Tempo Test on page 16. I was just trying to put the pieces together.
So that's the material that they're just providing a sample closer up and the product information of
Okay.
what is already there.
Gotcha. So on 17, there are 3 color swatches there. That's what I was wondering about. on page
Yeah, I
17.
think they just got a swatch from the manufacturer and provided that as a material sample. just so that you could see a little bit more of the texture. Obviously, I think that they would have, if we were meeting in person, they would have brought this in so you could see it, touch it, and feel it.
Okay.
But this is their best attempt to be able to do that sort of thing with the limited ability to actually have the material on hand.
So the colors on page 17 are not something
No,
proposing, they
it's-
just included them for,
Yeah,
Hoping
I think to see the
provide-
texture, yeah, more so than anything, which I don't know how well it shows up, but the color, they're proposing no changes to those awnings.
that's what I
The
thought.
information is just supporting information about what's already there.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so is everyone all set with that one? Okay.
The only other thing that, I don't know, and it's probably not something that maybe we want to get into or not, but the Heritage Trail banner that's there is almost directly aligned with the new sign that comes off the front of the, where, above the front door. And I wonder if they were, Deborah, I don't know if you want to chime in on this, like competing a little bit. So, would there be an opportunity to flip the Heritage Trail banner to the other side of the light posts? And I don't know if they're close enough, but it's something that caught my eye, and I just wanted to throw it out there if we wanted to discuss it or not. And it would be just simply flipping the Heritage Trail banner around to the other side of the light of the post.
David, can you give us a good page number just to refer to on that?
21, 21, I think.
Got it. Hold on.
So this is a street banner?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not within the applicant's ability.
No. It's just kind of competing graphics,
Yeah.
a little bit. So, again, it might not be anything we can deal with or whatever, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw it out
I
there.
mean, I could envision some kind of condition like if you applicant can't persuade the DES to relocate this banner, then would you do such and such to make it compatible? Or
Yeah,
I
it's
think-
tricky because they're two different programs, right? I don't remember if there are other Heritage Trail banners nearby. Are there a few down the street? Because they may all be hanging on the same side of the light post,
Yeah.
Well, there are a few more and they're all consistent.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I think
know
page
what you mean,
11
though.
shows examples of other projecting sign from buildings, and there is a heritage sign there, and there's a projecting sign. They don't
Okay.
line up directly if you look at page 11.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I understand your point though, David. I bet we won't be able to do much about that.
No, it's a minor issue anyway, so.
Okay, so our last case 5, which is 1000 East Avenue for a change in lighting in the front yard driveway.
So I had a quick question, I think. On page 21, it shows it's a spec sheet, cut sheet for the D series size 1. That's really the only image we have of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were. Yeah, that is the only image that they provided. I think the applicant does direct to one of the properties in the area with similar light fixture design. As a reference. I think that was on page 11 where they talk about Valley Manor. They had some examples of different lighting along East Avenue at similar multi-family apartment and condominium buildings.
Yeah. The images are very dark, at least in my packet.
It's really hard to see what they're proposing from this proposal, just my opinion.
Yeah, unfortunately, the copying sometimes quality comes back
Would have been nice to have even like any kind of a rendering or a full photo of but I'll ask the applicant about that. Nice. Full photo of the proposed light fixture would have been nice. Because is it, thicker at the bottom? Is it, consistent? It's hard to tell.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's something you could ask, Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It does have the base on page 29, actually.
Thank you.
Mm.
Okay, yep, thank you.
Pretty minimal, actually. Yeah.
All of the components are outlined. They're not put together in like necessarily one photo. I think they gave a reference for the one light fixture as something that was the closest to what they're proposing. Okay. Anything else from anyone? All right, then that concludes the pre-meeting. We will meet back here at 6 p.m. for the public hearing.